Dave again, and we're here with another episode of Deconstructing Disposables. Today's going to be one of my favorite ones because it's about branding and restaurant branding, and really where does packaging and disposables, where do they really fit into the overall brand of a restaurant or a hotel? We've got our experts here, Scott and Andy. They're going to tell us all about it. Guys, tell us about branding and marketing and how you can do it with packaging and disposables.
I think this is the concept that is nearest and dearest to our heart. This is where we feel like the rubber meets the road. Our clients are out there, and many of the people that are watching this are out there trying to differentiate themselves to be different from the other people in their marketplace. And this is where you can create that environment for you to stand out from your competitors. We always talk about branding and concept meeting and how to bring those two things together.
The restaurant business is really competitive. It's hard to be distinctive and stand out from everybody else up and down the street. Hotel business is similar. I think packaging and disposable and the bags, and I think you really do a great job. I'm looking at some great examples here. It's really important for a restaurant or hotel to have, I guess, the right look and get their brand message out.
Yeah, design is really crucial when you're looking at branding your packaging and working with a really good packaging supply company who really knows the ins and outs of what the aspect of all the design can be, whether it's printing on just the front and the back of a bag or even on the sides of the bag. It allows you to give yourself a true billboard when your clients are walking around, especially in an urban environment like a city where you have a yellow bag, bright yellow, so if you're across the street, they know exactly where you came from.
Yeah, I'm seeing all this, and it reminds me that it's more than just giving a customer a bag at a price or a disposable container at a price. There's a practical component to all this. The bag has to work from a weight standpoint. I mean, the container has to work from food. We've talked about that in other episodes. But really, there's a much bigger marketing and a branding messaging part. So it's really important to choose the right supplier, I suppose.
Definitely. The other big portion, too, is you can use colors and different shapes to make your branding work with it. So you don't necessarily have to logo everything. You can use stock items like this orange container if your colors are orange in your restaurant.
Cool. So I noticed that in looking at these before we started filming, there's even places to message here, and you've got the side of the bag here. This put even how they were started. There's all kinds of stories. Comfort food with a modern twist. You can use the whole package.
You know, depending on the size of your operation, you obviously have the capability and opportunity to do different things. Mm-hmm. So we have some examples here from some hotel groups that we've worked with where they understand that in-room dining service has become critically important to them and to do it effectively and efficiently, and they've gone to a lot of disposable pieces. They also have different restaurant concepts. They have cafes inside, so it's about tying that messaging into it complete, but not everybody has that scale available. So in other instances, people have just done a cup. Other instances, people have done, something with a container. But what's unique and special is trying to find something that's going to make you different from everybody else. So it's not necessarily just a sticker, or it's not necessarily just a bag. Is there something, like this example, where we can create a package around a product that makes it identifiably stand out from everybody else that you're standing next to on the street that you're working on? That way people remember you when they take their food home or when they're sitting in a restaurant and you hand it over to them.
I like also too the consistent message. I think it's the Tavern 64 there, and the cup of the sleeve that goes over that, tying it all together. That consistent brand message. Color has to be important. Color must be difficult to achieve as well.
That's really where working with a qualified distributor really comes in handy. We've gone into a lot of aspects and a lot of companies where they'll have greens and 3 different shades of green, and what that does, it makes you look like you're an amateur when it comes to packaging. So working with a supplier that understands what Pantone colors are, what PMS colors are, and making sure that the manufacturers are matching it, even to the point that when we work with a lot of our manufacturers, they'll send us samples before the full orders come to us, so we can make sure that everything's approved.
And I'm looking at Hyatt hotels and some of these other, they look a little more upscale, but this same concepts apply to restaurants of all levels and hotels of all levels, is that right?
Absolutely, and even on this table we have examples from hotels that are large national chains to some independent hotels and then some independent restaurant operators. So we can do these types of things for anybody that's out in the market, and there's limitations in certain aspects of it, but we can always find a spot for somebody to help differentiate themselves.
This doesn't really look disposable to me. Is this reusable?
That's a reusable bag, and that's an excellent point. So here's an example of something that we can do a minimum production run for, and people will do it throughout the course of their operation. People will do it in some instances just as a launch, something that people can give as a gift or something to send home with people. In many cases, these products stay in people's homes. People use them, and your brand stays, and the message stays. And it's just a reminder when it's walking down the street where people came from and where to go to find these things again. But they're excellent advertisement pieces. Again, as we said earlier, these are your billboards. Take advantage of them and make sure you're representing your brand appropriately.
Yeah, and Andy, we were talking about you can use these sometimes, the quantities, you can get them down where it's a special event kind of thing, a promotional, a one-off, maybe the opening, a grand opening, or whatever, or maybe a birthday or celebration or an anniversary. These are great. I love these. So, things to consider when we're talking about customized designs of packaging and disposable goods.
I would say definitely making sure that color matches across the board, understanding what the capabilities of your manufacturers are that are doing the printing for you. And then also taking a look from a true marketing standpoint to say, hey, it's not just putting the name of your business on the bag, it's really looking at it from an advertising basis and using your advertising budget, tying it into your packaging.
All good stuff. And today's tip?
The tip of the day is protect your brand. Find something unique. Find an opportunity to make yourself different from everybody else, but remember, it is your brand, so protect it and make sure you represent it properly.
Good advice, good advice. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Deconstructing Disposables.